Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you my 4 favorite Kilian fragrances, and then I will show you a cheaper alternative. So this Kilian perfume, they come in a 50 ml bottle like this, and it is refillable. It is retailed for 322 Canadian dollars, and you can buy the 50 ml refill for 260 Canadian dollars. So Kilian Hennessy believe in the environment, so he wants to create a refillable bottle instead of the the one time use bottle. But for $322 you can only get 50 ml juice, so I find it too expensive. And with the performance that Kilian is known for, they're not really that strong and bismuth performance. I think $322 is too much for a 50 ml juice. But people still buy it, and people love this perfume because it smells so classy and elegant, and it's unique. Most of them are unique. But today's video, I will give you a cheaper alternative of all these 4 perfumes that I love. And those perfumes that I'm gonna show you will be cheaper, or a little bit cheaper than the price of Kilian. So let's start. So I'll go from my least favorite to my most favorite Kilian. So my least favorite out of these 4 is the Goog Girl Bad. So this is quite new, but I have a decant of this, like I have 5 ml decant, and I have some samples before that I have already used. So I tried it before I bought the full bottle. So Goog Girl Bad is this was launched in 2012, and the top notes that we can smell, or I can smell, is osmanthus at the top. Mid notes is tuberose and some florals, and the base notes are cedar and amber. So this is basically a floral perfume. I don't understand why the name is bad, right? For me, this is a good girl perfume. It's just a good florals from the top to the mid. It is light, fresh florals with a little bit of sweetness, and then dries down to an ambery and woody scent. So probably the bad part is the cedar, because it turns woody in the dry down. Maybe that's the bad part, but for me, this is a very good scent. The projection and the performance is it's a soft perfume. It's closer to the skin. People can smell you until they are close to you, or they beside you, or they come to hug you. But the longevity is about 4 to 5 hours. So this is a soft perfume. That's why I think it's at the bottom of my list, because I consider this as a soft perfume. It's very good for people who doesn't like a loud perfume, especially people who works in the office or in the healthcare field. These can also be signature scent, but it's very good in summer and spring. Now the cheaper alternative that I found, the very first, or the closest to it, is the Wild Python by Mancera. So Manceras are considered also as a niche perfume, and they are cheaper than Kilian. So the retail for Manceras are $180 for 100 ml, but you can find it in a lot of discounters, especially like Fragrance Net, Fragrance X, and Fragrance Y. I bought these for about 110 Canadian. And the good thing about the Mancera is known for being a bismuth perfume, so the performance is better than the Kilian. Now this is, I consider this as a 90% similar, because wild python also has osmanthus on the top notes and tuberose on the mid, and then the base note is musky. Very similar, 90% similar, especially in the opening and the mid and in the middle. And the aside from this being a cheaper, it is very strong than the Good Girl Gone Bad. It projects about 6 feet or more, and longevity is about more than 6 hours. So this is the closest to Good Girl Gone Bad. Another one that I find it closer is close to the scent is the Michael by Michael Kors. So this is the reason why I put this together with Good Girl Gone Bad, is because it has a tuberose. It has tuberose, but it doesn't have osmanthus. So this is about less than 90%, maybe 60-70% similar to Good Girl Gone Bad, but a big difference in the price. That is 322 Canadian, the Kilian, and this is only 20 Canadian. And this also lasts longer and projects better than the Good Girl Gone Bad. Aside from the tuberose, it dries down to a musky and woody tuberose. So dry down is also similar. Okay, so that's the Good Girl Gone Bad. So that's my least favorite. My third favorite is Woman in Gold. So Woman in Gold was launched in 2017, and the notes are aldehydes. It has rose, vanilla, and patchouli, and it has another note in the base note, which is akigala wood. So it keeps that woody dry down. This is a very unique perfume. I really like it, especially in the initial and the. Actually, I like it from the top to the base notes to the dry down. It also has a moderate silage, same as the Good Girl Gone Bad, though this is a little bit stronger than the Good Girl Gone Bad. And people can smell you when they are about 2 feet from you. And this is long lasting than the Good Girl Gone Bad. So this is about, I can get 6 to 8 hours of this perfume, and can be considered also as a signature scent, and you can wear it throughout the year, and also can be a day scent as well. The closest to Woman in Gold, the one that I can recommend is the Tokade by Rochas. So this is very cheap. This is 100 ml, and I bought it for $39. And this is 85% to 90% similar. This is a vintage perfume. This was launched in 1994, and the top notes are some citrus and green notes, and then it has rose and basic vanilla and patchouli. So they're similar because it has a rose and patchouli on the notes. But when the Woman in Gold is soft in projection and moderate in performance, moderate in longevity, Tokade is this mode. It has a very strong silage. It can it's like the Mancera. It can fill up a room, especially if you overspray, and it lasts 8 hours. This is a vintage perfume. We all know that perfumes in the 90s are all strong, and the projection is strong, and this is a lot cheaper too. So if you want to save money and don't want to spend $322, get this one for $39 for double the juice. Okay, then another one that is similar to Woman in Gold is the Lolita Land by Lolita Lempica. So this is a loud version of the Woman in Gold. You know how Woman in Gold is very soft, very classy and elegant. It's closer to the skin. Lolitalan is the opposite. It's very loud and beast mode. So when you spray it, actually it can fill up the whole room. I tried it in my work, and I asked people to compare this and the woman in gold. They told me that the Lolitalan is so strong it hurts their nose. They prepare the woman in gold better. And the reason why I compare them both, because Lolitalan also has a rose on the mid, and there is a citrus and rose and vanilla, but it has no patchouli, so that's the only difference. So this has no patchouli. Now the patchouli in woman in gold is not too prominent too. I know a lot of people doesn't like patchouli, but the patchouli in woman in gold is not prominent. It's not earthy at all. Another one that is similar to my nose, actually they are not they doesn't share that much note, but to my nose they are similar, and people always sleep on this perfume. This is the Miss Dior Rose and Roses. I never heard anybody like hyping this perfume, but this is one of my favorite under hype perfume. This is a rose at the top, rose in the middle, and the base is white moss. The only similarity between woman in gold and this is the rose, but this is so good. So people who wants to find an alternative to woman in gold without patchouli, try Miss Dior Rose and Roses. It is very fresh, very clean, very pleasing, mass appealing perfume. And what is surprising is the performance. This lasts for hours and hours. Actually, I'm so shocked that this lasts on me the whole day, because the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet doesn't last about 2 to 3 hours, and sometimes the Miss Dior EDT and the Miss Dior EDP also doesn't last all day. I had to retouch, reapply it, but this one is strong. You try to spray 8 to 10 sprays and it will last you 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours. So this is probably about 50% similar to Woman in Gold. Okay, so Woman in Gold. Now my second favorite is Rolling in Love. Look at that bottle. It's red. I love the color of the bottle. I love red perfume. So Rolling in Love, it was launched recently in 2019, and the top notes are almond milk and ambrette, with the middle notes of iris and the base note of tuberose and vanilla. Guys, this is so good. One of the unique perfumes that I smelled, and I considered it as a very grown up perfume, very classy perfume, and I usually layer this with almond musk oil. My friend has the almond musk body shop, and she gave me maybe 5 ml. This is 5 ml. So what I do, I apply this in my neck, in my arm, in my elbow, and that's where I spray Rolling in Love. And when I do that, when I layer two together, it lasts me all day. I don't have to reapply Rolling in Love middle of the day, because it lasts me all day. This prolongs the longevity of Rolling in Love. Actually, this is so strong. You can just dab it on your neck and your wrist and elbow, and it can also last all day, but it's much better if you top it up or layered it with Rolling in Love. Now, the closest to Rolling in Love that I found from my collection is Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy. So this one is also a bit expensive. For a 100 ml bottle, you can get it for 250 Canadian. But this is 100, like double, 100 ml, double the juice. While this is 50 ml for 322. So this is still cheaper. Now, why they are compared? Because of the ambrette and the iris note. So I forgot to mention, Rolling in Love also has an iris note. And I think I already mentioned it. So the thing that compare these two is the ambrette and the iris note. The Scarlet Puppy doesn't have an almond note, so it's not that sweet, because Rolling in Love, because of that almond milk, is very sweet. This one has a little bit of sweetness, but not too much as the Rolling in Love, but a strong ambrette and the iris note. It is more lipsticky scent than the Woman in Gold. Sorry, than the Rolling in Love. So the Rolling in Love, because of the presence of the iris, is also has that lipsticky scent or lipsticky quality, which Scarlet Puppy has. So what I do sometimes, as I also layer the Scarlet Puppy with this mass oil, almond mass oil. Now another one that is similar to, or a cheaper alternative to Rolling in Love, is Poison Girl. So Poison Girl, you can buy it for less than $100 Canadian, so it's gonna be a lot cheaper than the Kilian. This is the EDP, not the EDT. So the reason why they are similar is because of the almond, the presence of the almond and the tonka bean. They are about 70% similar, and the silage and the longevity are basically the same. It's like moderate, and longevity is about 6 to 8 hours. But if I also layered it with the almond oil, it will last all day as well. This is also good. And the last one that is similar to Rolling in Love, also a cheaper alternative, is the Good Girl. Carolina Herrera Good Girl. Look at the bottle. High heel. I love this perfume. This is an 80 ml bottle, and you can buy this for 130 to 150 Canadian in Shoppers Drug Mart. Sometimes you can find it for $100 in online discounters. So still a cheaper alternative than Rolling in Love. So why they are compared to Rolling in Love is because this also has almond on the top, and also it has tuberose, iris, and tonka bean. So they are about 70 to 80% similar. Most of the notes with the Rolling in Love are also here, and also this has a good performance. It has a moderate projection in moderate to good longevity. It's about 6 hours, and if I layered it with that almond oil, it will last 8 hours too. This is good. This is also good. So those are the cheaper alternatives for Rolling in Love. And now we'll go to my favorite, Kilian, which is no surprise to everybody. This is Love Don't Be Shy. So I have a travel size of this, and I have maybe 2 decants, 5 ml decants of this that I bring with me when I go to work, or when I use this as my scent of the day. So Love Don't Be Shy was launched in 2007. So this is an old perfume, and the prominent notes are neroli, orange blossom, some florals, and dry down, or the base notes are marshmallows. So you know that my favorite notes is orange blossom. So now you will understand why Love Don't Be Shy is also a favorite of mine, because of that orange blossom note. But the orange blossom is already sweet as it is, but then you add marshmallow. So this perfume is very sweet, very sweet. But for me, it's not that cloying. It's not as sweet as the original Scandal. If you remember my review with the Scandal line, it's not as sweet as the Scandal, but this is sweet. And the marshmallow is so prominent and the dry down, and also it becomes powdery. Now the longevity and the performance on me is good. I heard other people said it doesn't last long on them or it's very weak, but for me, the silage, the projection is good. It about 6 feet length. People can smell me when I'm wearing this perfume, and the longevity is good too. I can get 6 and I can get even 8 hours on this, especially if I layered it with my Calgon marshmallow cologne or body spray. I showed this to you when I made a video about my decants, my samples, and my travel spray and my body spray. So this is one of my favorite. I will spray this in my hair and on my clothes, all over me, after I spray the Love Don't Be Shy. Then it will last me 6 to 8 hours. But sometimes I will carry a travel spray, or I'll carry the decant, and then I'll spray one spray or two spray in the afternoon. Now, because this is so popular and so hyped up, there are a lot of perfumes that smell similar to these, or some perfumes made a copy of this. And one of them is the Belayered Caramel Overdose. So this is a good dupe, a good copy of the Love Don't Be Shy. I actually almost finished it. So there are days that I want to save my juice because, as I said, these are expensive. Sometimes I want to save it and I use this, or I mix it, right? I put 2 to 3 sprays of this and then 3 sprays of this to save my juice. This is about 90% similar, very similar. The notes in this is only caramel, but I don't believe it's only caramel. I can smell the orange blossom and then the rolling here and the marshmallow and also some caramel. This is the only difference is this is brighter than the Love Don't Be Shy. You know how Love Don't Be Shy is so dense and strong. This has a little freshness, it's a little brighter, but not that much difference. If you smell it side by side, one wrist with this one, the other wrist will be the Love. They are quite similar. This is also has a very good performance. It can last 6 to 8 hours, and the silage is actually bigger. You can get a bigger scent bubble than the Love. So another one that is similar to Love Don't Be Shy is also my favorite Parfums de Marly, which is Safanad. I think this is not cheaper. The price I forgot to tell you for Belayered, you can get this for about 70 Canadian dollar for a 60 ml bottle, which is a lot cheaper than Kilian. Now Sapanad, I think they have the same price. I think they have this. No, I think this is more expensive. This is about 400 Canadian dollars if you pay full price in the retailer. But this is 75 ml and this is only 50 ml. So basically, they're the same. I think they're almost the same. So Safanad is the reason why they were compared because of the orange blossom. It has a very strong orange blossom and vanilla. And because this has no marshmallow, this is not too sweet. compared to the Love Don't Be Shy. So people who find Love Don't Be Shy to be too sweet, they can use Sapanad, because this is less sweet. Orange, it only has the sweetness of the orange blossom, but it doesn't have the caramel and the marshmallow sweetness. Longevity is also similar or comparable to Love. You cannot get a big, like the silage is moderate, like Love. It's closer to the skin, and usually the longevity is 4 to 6 hours. Now the other one bottle that is similar to Love is my Classic Cabaret. So Classic Cabaret has orange blossom and marshmallow. That's why they're similar to Love. The orange blossom is also strong, and the marshmallow is strong, but the only difference is this is a bit spicy because of the ginger. So I consider this about 70 to 80% similar to Love. And those people who doesn't like the sweetness of Love Don't Be Shy can use this because it's not too sweet. The marshmallow is there, but it's balanced by the presence of the gingers, the spiciness. So this is also a cheaper alternative. Now this is definitely a lot cheaper. This is less than $100 for a 100 ml bottle. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like this video and you'll consider buying these perfumes as alternative to Kilian fragrance. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and like this video and share it if you can, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye bye.